Thank you so much for joining us for the 2020 Community Baby Shower for Mecosta and Osceola County. The goal of the baby shower is to ensure that all families have what they need in order to thrive. This baby shower is for all parents, mamas included, that have babies prenatal to the age of 12 months. During the Let's Talk series, we are going to be talking about 3 different things: resources that you may need while you're raising your child. The second one is supports you might need, and we all need supports, and also the opportunity to network with other families just like you. I hope you will join us for the Let's Talk series. We hope that you feel special, because you are. Let's talk.
Thank you for joining us, Tricia, today for another segment of our Let's Talk.
Yes.
I would like to begin by having you just share a little bit about you and what you do, and what brought you here
Yeah.
today.
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Tricia Smith-Bennett. I am the parent liaison for the Great Start Collaborative Parent Coalition. I've been in this role for almost 2 years now.
Hmm.
Just crazy to
I
think.
know.
And just a little bit about the Parent Coalition is that it's really here to make sure that parent voice is not only heard but valued in the community. So we
Mhm.
have some parent ambassadors as a part of our parent coalition, which are parent leaders in the community. And
Mhm.
their job is really to absorb what they're hearing in their smaller communities, so in their towns, and through their school systems and through other moms that they're friends with, and really bring that voice to our table so that we can find those common trends and needs and topics in the community that are really on the forefront of parents' minds. And then what we do with that information is we share it with the Great Start Collaborative. Um, which is a body of agencies and businesses and people in the education system who really have early childhood on the forefront of their minds so that we can work together as professionals and parents to provide what's best for the kids in our community.
Oh, that was beautiful. And I think that probably one of the things that we would want to note here is we do have a lot of moms very active in this parent
Hmm.
coalition. But
Hmm.
I also think that I've heard you have several conversations about the need to get fathers and grandparents and
Yeah.
foster care parents in all of the caregiving roles
Yes.
that
Yes.
represent our community. So
Yeah.
I have heard that, and
Yes.
which really leads me to the next question that I have is,
Hmm.
how would a parent that says, "Wow, I never knew this existed. I never really knew that the community as a whole, assigned by the state, is really
Hmm.
looking at parent experience and really
Right.
looking at that in a way to make sure that if there's any gaps or concerns or barriers, that we're looking at
Right.
those and we're identifying sustainable solutions."
Hmm.
How would a parent, how would a caregiver get in touch with you or get in
Yeah.
touch with the parent coalition to jump on board?
Right. Right. So we do, you're right, Jesse, we do have a lot of parents, including myself now as a parent, who are always searching for parenting knowledge
Yes.
and connection with other parents. It's so nice to be able to build relationship with other parents who are facing those same things as you, and they're like-minded as you, and even those that are not like-minded. It's so nice to be able to have that give and take and really just learn about parenting as a whole. And I really think that that is what just another thing that makes getting connected with the Parent Coalition so great. A great way to get connected with the Parent Coalition, though, is just through Facebook. So that's how a lot of people have heard about us and got connected with us.
Hmm.
And you can find us on Facebook at Together to Thrive. It's a number 2. And that is the Mecosta Osceola Great Start Parent Coalition page. And
Hmm.
not only do I myself post on that, but it shares so many different things that agencies, businesses, other parenting groups, that want to get things out to the community. But it also has on the page, if parents or parent ambassadors come to me with questions that other parents might have, I put those out on the Facebook page, and we just get such great
Mhm.
feedback and comments from other parents that are super helpful. So Facebook is a really easy way to get connected. Um, Another great way is to just check out the MO Great Start website,
Mhm.
and that offers so much to parents who maybe aren't on Facebook and just like the feel of a website a little bit more.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I know that the Parent Coalition has meetings on a somewhat regular basis. And I know
Mhm.
that we've kind of struggled with finding our new norm with
Yeah,
COVID precautions.
right.
But what does that look like? And if you don't have exact dates,
Hmm.
which I know we were still working on that,
Yeah.
but how would they make sure that they could attend the next meeting,
Hmm.
or at least be aware that there's a meeting coming up?
Right. So that's a great question. So typically, pre-COVID, we would meet in person once a month, and we typically would have those meetings in 3 different areas throughout the 2 counties. That
Hmm.
was in Everett, Morley, Stanwood, and Big Rapids.
Yeah.
However, things are different now, much like
Hmm.
everything else with COVID. And
Yes.
we've actually been doing those meetings virtually through Zoom or through
Hmm.
Google Hangout, whatever works best for the group. Um, and honestly, the style of them has been it's just been so amazing for the people who partake in them.
Hmm.
Um, it's been through a parent cafe, which
Hmm.
is where we have questions based on the strengthening families, the 5 protective factors.
Hmm.
And what we do is we bring up those questions. There's 5 questions for each round. The parents pick what they want to speak on if they
Hmm.
choose to speak on them. And it's really just a great way for parents to talk about some personal experiences in a non judgment,
Hmm.
non advice giving format.
Hmm.
Not only does it help you build connections with other people, but it really helps you to see that we're all trying to do what's best for our kids here. And that's really what connects us all down to the core. So, again,
Hmm.
connecting with those meetings, I think the best way is going to be through Facebook. And
Hmm.
if you end up private messaging the page and want to talk to someone a little bit more, just get a little bit more information and have more of that personal one-on-one connection. I myself or one of the parent ambassadors would be so happy to
Yes.
Zoom with you, have a phone call with you, text with you, whatever you think is going to be most comfortable for you to be able to get your questions answered and really find out what this is all about.
Yeah, so I'm going to put you on the spot right now, and
Mhm.
together I think we're going to be able to get this.
Yeah,
You mentioned the 5 protective factors, and
yeah.
I was wondering if you could go through and label each one and give us just a synopsis on what each one of those are.
Absolutely. So the one that's always on the forefront of well, 2 that are on the forefront of my mind right now with what parents are facing is
Hmm.
1, social connections, and 2, concrete supports in time of need.
Yeah.
Um, those 2 right now, more than ever, are very important. Social connections with other people who um,
Hmm.
really can relate to what you're going through are so important. Just as important as having those concrete supports, because a lot of us are in times of need right now more than we ever have been in our life.
Hmm.
And so knowing it definitely does not have to be just your spouse or just your family I mean, it could be a combination of so many people that
Hmm.
really are there for you when things come up. So that's 2 of them. Another one is parental knowledge,
Hmm.
which again is great being a part of a parenting group that is
Yes.
connected to so many agencies and businesses, because we do bring in speakers who are able to talk on different topics from different places and really share what they can offer to you and other parents in the community.
Hmm.
So that's 3 of them. Another one is social emotional competence in children. And
Mm-hmm.
that's really just learning not only for yourself how to process your emotions and communicate how you're feeling, but really helping your children put words to their feelings and learn um, that feelings are okay, but behaviors have limits.
Mm-hmm.
And just really
Yep.
working through that process, putting words to how they're feeling and
Mm-hmm.
helping them to grow into little people who can manage those things.
Right. It takes time, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Well, and now you've come to the last one, and I think
Yes,
it's the one that I always forget.
I know.
So
That's
I know
bothering
that
me that it's not, I've got it
hey,
right here.
that is always, I think you just shared a wonderful yeah, I know. So, but you just shared something really, really meaningful in that moment of being forgetful in a way, right?
Hmm.
Is that we are very busy as parents, and we are very
Yes.
busy, whether you're a grandma raising grandkids or a grandfather raising grandkids or whatever. Give yourself a little bit of grace and say, okay,
Hmm.
I don't always have to have that knowledge right away. I can seek to connect to it. And so, Tricia, you
Yes.
have the last one.
Yes. Which again is so important in everyday life, especially right now, and that's parental resilience.
Yes.
So it's our ability to go through things, which everyone is facing crisis and trauma right now, again, more than probably they ever have in their lives. So being able to be resilient and really
Hmm.
work through what you're going through in order to continue to be your best for yourself and for your family.
Right, absolutely. And we know that when people are resilient, when they have concrete supports in times of need, when
Hmm.
they have social connections, when they identify feelings but really manage those behaviors, and then they actually use parent knowledge, as a whole, this community would literally thrive because of that. So, those
Right.
5 protective factors, when they're
Hmm.
all embraced and in motion, so to say, it really
Right.
makes for a wonderful experience in parenting,
Absolutely.
no matter
Absolutely.
what we go through.
Yes.
Whoever
Yes.
thought we would be going through COVID? One of the things that I wanted to ask you is you've done a great job sharing about the Parent Coalition. You've done a great job sharing about the meetings and how parents would connect and what they're
Hmm.
actually going to experience.
Hmm.
I guess I was wondering, is there anything else you would like to share with us that we've missed?
Um, I I think the only thing that I can think of that we haven't really hit on is the fact that um, a lot of our parents have gone through a lot recently, and it has
Hmm.
just been so nice to see how they can support each other
Hmm.
in a way that is different than how your typical family and friends
Yes.
have been able to support you through things. Just knowing that you've got a whole nother support system there for you. I mean, I've heard of some of our parent ambassadors stopping at the grocery store for one of our parents, or we've had a couple of people pass away and just sending each other cards or little text reminders, like those types of things. Building those relationships with people go so far and they mean so much to people.
Hmm.
um, and just being a part of something like that
Hmm.
is second to none, that's for sure.
I agree. And I'm just going to say from the or I'm sorry, from the Great Start Collaborative point of view,
Hmm.
we couldn't do what we're doing with all of the areas that we are assigned by the state. We couldn't do what we are doing at the
Hmm.
success that we're doing it without the
Right.
wonderful voice and the experience of parents. And I
Hmm.
know you do a great job leading that
Thank you.
the Parent Coalition, and I appreciate it so very
Thank you.
much. And it really has definitely impacted this community and hopefully made it a better place for
Yes.
families to raise their children.
Yes.
So
I
thank
agree.
you.
Hmm.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. And I know that
Yes.
if you want to connect with Tricia or the Parent Coalition, we will make sure to put that on the very end of this video. So be
Yes.
ready. Otherwise, you'll also find it in the comments or in the plug
Hmm.
before. So thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you.